Oh, I'm so scared! No! Ah! Oh, open it, open it, open it! Yeah! We did it! Oh my god, dude! Oh my god! Oh my god! How do you become a professional speedrunner in Fortnite? How do you get so consistent? And what does it take to be the best? Well, to answer these, I asked poopyfartypee questions to help us get a better understanding of how a professional thinks, and he replied. In this video, we're going to go over multiple topics that I felt were subjects that I just didn't understand involving the way professional speedrunners' minds work, and if there's a secret to being so consistent. But first, who is poopyfartypee? For those of you who have been living under a rock, poopyfartypee is one of the top performers in Scissor's death runs. He has placed in all three, proving that he is more than just a one-trick speedrunner. His streams have gained him millions of views on YouTube and over 8,000 followers on Twitch, making him one of the fastest growing speedrunning stars of today. His relaxed approach and laid-back streams draw viewers in as they watch him make mistake after mistake without even breaking a sweat. He is the man who completed Scissor's death run 3.0 on his first try and shows no signs of slowing down his dominating reign. Let's jump straight into the questions. So number one, when did you start speedrunning and why? So only the people who have known me for years will know, but the first game I started properly speedrunning was Black Ops 3 free run on PC. Before that, I have messed around with trying to get records on Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops, for examples, and little things like that. But the reason I started playing Black Ops 3 more seriously was because after seeing a video of FaZe Apex, I believe doing it on a video with over 1 million views, watching that I knew I could easily beat his time and maybe beat everyone. It was actually realistic that I could be one of the best at something, and it was very encouraging to me at the time. Later, after free run started to die, it really lost all its hype and was no longer fun anymore, and almost like a job I wasn't even getting paid for. That was pretty much it until Scissor's death run started. I asked him, what was the first game you began grinding? And he replied, first game I seriously started playing was Halo 3 and Modern Warfare 2 specifically. I had played Halo 1 and 2 as well as COD 4, but I was super young and neither was scared or unable to hold my own in FPS games. Modern Warfare 2 and Halo 3 changed that, and I really started getting good in those games. I specifically remember my parents not getting me an Xbox Live at the time, so to get around it I would make a new account every month and use the free trial month and grind for a prestige every week. Then at the month trial would end and I'd start all over again. This happened for months and I kept getting better every day. What do you think makes an efficient run on Fortnite? For a game like Fortnite specifically, with all the bugs and flaws with creative, I think it's especially important to know and understand why certain things happen. When you know that you can adjust accordingly and learn much faster why something isn't working and what you need to do to improve. I see lots of people fail a level dozens of times and keep trying the exact same thing, hoping to get lucky once. This is a pretty backwards way to approach speedrunning on a competitive level in general and cannot completely throw a wrench in someone's ability to speedrun. What advice would you give to someone who's just starting speedrunning? My advice would be to first understand what you're getting into first. The thing about these death runs is they take time to get good at, and if you want to perform at a competitive level, it's going to take a lot of it, especially if you aren't coming with some experience already in the bank. After that, my advice would be, while you're practicing, to not get mad. When you first start grinding a new death run, people always say to me after you rage quit after dying hundreds of times on a level, and that's because I'm just practicing. I'm just trying to get better, and with hundreds of deaths, I'm coming closer to that goal. So there really isn't a reason to get upset over the grind. If you are stuck on a level, how do you get around it, and do you use patterns? This goes back to my last answer of understanding why things are happening. When you understand the fundamentals of the game mechanics and why certain things happen, you can adjust so much easier compared to being blind and trying different things. Also, understanding that it might not be every time that you try something different, and have the insight to do something that might not be obvious in the moment. What made you start streaming? I had streamed casually before Scissors deathrun, but I'd always had bad internet and just an okay PC for streaming, so they went pretty far between. So I probably first started during the Black Ops 3 free run days, but even now I wouldn't call myself a streamer. I first started streaming because it looked like a lot of fun to hang out with people and play games, and I found it to be exactly that since growing. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that the specific game supports the hangout with the viewers in my experience, not the other way around. I'm having the most fun with my chat, and I think that the shows in my stream. How did it feel when your audience started to grow? I haven't really grasped onto it yet. I always tell myself that it's not a lot and I need to relax, but on the flip side remind myself that it's not also just a little bit, and think about the best way to push this small growth into something more. But my IRL life hasn't changed a bit. I have just less time to do anything, and any time I'm not spending at school, YouTube or Twitch makes me feel guilty, knowing that I might do poorly in school or let my channel die as a result. I'm definitely still learning a lot and have ways to go before I find that balance and also really understand what I have. Who do you think the best speedrunner in the community is, other than yourself? So there are two big categories in my opinion: finding shortcuts / optimization and consistency. Hotball is easily the most consistent person I've ever seen in my life. I wouldn't say that myself or anyone else comes close to his consistency, and I honestly have no idea how he is so consistent. Now, for the rest of us to compete with Hotball doing the hardest known strats with unreal consistency, we need to find shortcuts that bring us back up to par, and Sue, SA and Chaps TV have the skill from their CS bunny hopping, and it's the only thing that gives us a chance really. You'll notice that in 1.0, the only reason Hotball came fourth, I think it was because of a single shortcut he didn't know about, which makes the difference. In 2 and 3, these shortcuts still exist, but without Hotball's consistency, it's very, very hard to hit all of them in a single death run. So what do you guys think of his opinions around speedrunning? Who do you think is the best? I want to say a massive thank you to poopyfartypee for allowing me to ask these questions. I think that we can all agree death runs are a grind and can honestly destroy you mentally, but one thing we can all take away is if you focus and put your all into something, you can achieve anything. And I honestly think that poopyfartypee is a prime example of someone on the grind who deserves everything that he has, and I wish him the best of luck in growing. But yeah guys, that is my video for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed and you want to see more content like this, do comment, give the video a like and hit subscribe. We're going to try and get 1,000 subs ASAP. But yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. It has been Bitter, and peace.